The Hornet was first introduced in August of 2022 for the US and Canadian markets. I first saw the Hornet at the 2022 North American International Auto Show on Press Day in September of 2022. What we had on display were pre-production prototypes, with one being a blue steel GT and a really cool black GLH version. Based on the new Alfa Romeo Tonale, well, more than based on, the two are identical save for design elements that make them representative of their company identities. Anyways, this happens to be the first all-new Dodge vehicle in a number of years, and the first all-new compact SUV since the discontinuation of the Dodge Nitro in 2011. For the 2024 model year, the Hornet will be available in two distinct trims, the GT and the RT. GT will feature a 2-liter Hurricane turbo 4-cylinder engine and an 8-speed automatic, while the RT will come with a smaller 1.3-liter Firefly turbo 4-cylinder engine, but made into a partial hybrid electric powertrain and a 6-speed Aisin automatic. Our Hornet review subject comes in the form of the line-topping RT Plus Blacktop all-wheel drive and was produced in Italy in September of 2023, exactly 1 year later from when I first saw the vehicles. Hey everyone, in today's in-depth review video, we are taking a look at this brand new 2024 Dodge Hornet. The first really all-new Dodge in several years now. It is actually based on the Alfa Romeo Tonale. It's on the same platform. It's exactly the same vehicle, just different front and rear designs and interior. Now today's Dodge Hornet is actually a very nicely equipped vehicle. We have an RT Plus with the Blacktop package. It is also the E all-wheel drive version. It is painted in the $495 Hot Tamale red clear coat metallic. It looks like it used to be the red line red. And the interior is black. It is a leather interior. Now today's review is going to go over everything. It's going to be in-depth. We're going to cover everything from the exterior to the interior. We're also going to cover mechanical, performance, and everything else in between. As stated previously, we have an RT all-wheel drive vehicle, which means we have the partial hybrid electric vehicle powertrain, and it consists of a small 1.3-liter aluminum block and head Firefly dual overhead cam 16-valve turbocharged and intercooled 4-cylinder engine that is paired with dual AC synchronous electric motors. The engine itself creates 177 horsepower at 5,750 RPM and 199 pound-feet of torque at 1,850 RPM. In addition, the dual motors create 44 and 121 horsepower respectively, and 39 and 184 pound-feet of torque respectively. Total system output is 288 horsepower and 383 pound-feet of torque. The Hornet can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.5 seconds. 0 to 100 miles per hour comes in at 15.4 seconds, with the quarter mile hitting at 14.2 seconds at 96 miles per hour. The top speed is limited to 128 miles per hour. And because of the nature of the vehicle, we have two fuel sources. The first comes in the form of a 15.5 kilowatt hour lithium-ion battery pack with a 7.4 kilowatt onboard charger. The battery consists of a lithium-ion, nickel, manganese, and cobalt graphite composition with a total output of 306 volts. The Hornet can drive approximately 33 miles on EV-only driving, averaging 77 miles per gallon E and consuming 44 kilowatt hours per 100 miles driven. The other source is, of course, unleaded fuel. The Hornet RT features 11.2 US gallon fuel capacity, and compared to the GT's 13.5 US gallon capacity, it consumes 3.4 gallons per 100 miles driven, with a total driving range of 327 miles. Total gas-electric range is 360 miles, and averages 29 miles per gallon in gasoline-only driving. While the GT trim gets the 9-speed 948 TE automatic transmissions, the Hornet RT variant gets the Aisin 6-speed F21 250 partial hybrid electric vehicle automatic gearbox instead. This transmission features manual gear select via the lever, or making use of the ultra-cool aluminum finished paddles shifters mounted on the steering wheel, looking like they are lifted straight out of an exotic car. Now, I first saw the Hornet at the Detroit International Auto Show at a press event, and they had the Hornet, they had the Hornet RT, and they had the Hornet GLH. This is my first time actually getting my hands on one. Alrighty, around the rear of the Hornet, as you can see, it's a very aggressively styled vehicle. It is a crossover SUV, about the size of a Jeep Compass, but has a style very similar to that of the Alfa Romeo Tonale, which of course that's what it's based on. Taking a look at some of these body lines here, I really like how the rear window actually cuts into the body itself. That does create kind of an odd opening. Come down, you do have a small little lip spoiler up here, and these gloss black trim pieces down here, all the way down the window frame. Leads down to these really dramatic tail lamps here. Very dimensional LED. Got this wide band here, and of course you got these inner portions here that go inwards, and then of course the bright red LED turn indicator. Back here you do have your reverse light. That LED element continues all the way across into LED light bar. Does have the Dodge logo here illuminated as well, and of course it goes into the other side. Of course you have your RT badging there, your Hornet badging down below on the other side, and of course down below you do have your gloss black trim, detailed chrome outlets here on your dual exhaust here. Looks really, really good. And of course you also have your rear parking sensors. Now, as we walk along the profile of the vehicle, it is a short vehicle. However, the proportions are just right. The vehicle actually looks really, really good in the side profile. As you can see on screen, the dimensions. Not a very big vehicle, but it does feel roomy inside for sure. Do love all the detailing, the gloss black trim, the red line red, or the hot tamale red rather. Just a really good looking vehicle. Steering is electrically assisted vehicle speed sensitive variable rate rack and pinion with a 14.5 to 1 steering ratio, 2.5 turns lock to lock, and a tight 37.9 foot turning radius. Wheels are the pretty cool gloss black painted, or what Dodge calls Abyss, multi-spoke 18 by 7.5 inch aluminums, shot in 225/55 R18 Goodyear Eagle Sport all-season tires. Brakes are, in the RT, actually supplied by Brembo, and come in the form of course, of 4-wheel disc brakes with ABS traction control and a plethora of safety features, including pedestrian and emergency braking. And up front we have 13.53-inch ventilated rotors with 12.08-inch ventilated rotors in the rear, gripped by silver-painted Brembo calipers. These brakes can haul the Hornet from 70 miles per hour to 0 in 164 feet. Walking around the front, it does differ from the Alfa Romeo, as we'll show in detail, but overall, it's just a really nice proportionate vehicle. Alright, now up front, the Hornet looks way different than the Alfa Romeo does, just because the Dodge family looks different than the Alfa Romeo family. But other than that, they're very similar. On this particular vehicle, you do have the gloss black skull caps on the mirrors, LED turn repeaters here. You do have the gloss black Hornet badging there on the fender. And you've also got on the hood active air extractors on both sides. And then coming down, you do have this dramatic headlamp design, all gloss black bezels. Your upper daytime running light also turns into an amber turn indicator, full high and low beam LEDs, LED repeaters or marker lights there. No fog lamps on this vehicle, so it just has a black plastic piece. And of course you do have the Dodge grill up front, and then down below a larger lower intake, and that portion right there is your radar for your cruise control. Alright, now before we get inside, this vehicle is equipped with remote start as standard equipment. Just double press the remote start button on the key fob. Now, it actually started in electric mode, so it's a quiet start, but it will also start in gasoline as well. Alright, now before we get inside, let's take a look at the key fob. It is rather unimaginative. It is a standard Stellantis, Chrysler, Dodge key. It is a smart key. It does have the Dodge plate on the back and on the front. It has a standard suite of buttons: unlock, lock, hatch release. You also have a remote start and your panic button. Now, being that it is the smart key access system, you're able to lock the vehicle by keeping the key fob in your purse or pocket. To lock it, simply locate the button here on the door handle. The horn will chirp and the lights will flash, indicating the vehicle is locked. To unlock, simply grab the handle as you would open it. Alright, and inside what we find is an all-new interior. It is very similar to that of the Alfa Romeo. However, it does have its own Dodge touches, and we're going to go over all of those. Let's first take a look at the door panels. Door panels are very typical Dodge. They are all black. They do have different materials. Up here we have like this soft grained vinyl. We have a different, like a neoprene trim here, black plastic here, and a grain plastic here. Now, we also have this textured grayish material here. Looks really nice and actually feels good. Satin silver door pulls, power lock switches, 3-driver memory, the Harman Kardon premium audio system here. We do have our power mirror controls with mirror fold away, power windows, and window lockout. I like the red stitching along here. Really lends to the black top. We have molded map pockets here and a bottle holder, and of course additional speakers here. Now on the driver's side instrument panel, we have our fuel door release, hatch release, automatic headlamp control, instrument panel brightness and dim. Here is our hood release right here. And of course in the footwell we only have a gas and brake pedal because this vehicle is not offered with a manual transmission. Also note the lack of an entry sill plate. There's nothing here, just a black piece of plastic. The driver's seat is 8-way power adjustable with 4-way adjustable lumbar support. The passenger seat is also power adjustable. Alright, let's take a look at the seats. The seats are actually very comfortable, they're very supportive, and they're very sporty with the aggressive bolstering, high adjustable head restraints, and of course high adjustable seat belts. We do have the Dodge logo here embroidered into the headrest, as well as the stitching in the headrest. Moving down, we do have perforation inserts. This really nice Daytona style perforation stitching pattern here. But the seats are perforated because this vehicle does have heated and ventilated seats. You'll note the aggressive bolstering on the top and the bottom of the seats. And you also have a little bit more extended thigh support. But overall, the seats are very comfortable. Alright, now that we're inside, let's take a look, pan through the interior, show more details. Electrically assisted power assisted steering on a very nice 3-spoke steering wheel with a flat bottom rim. It is a nice thick leather wrapped steering wheel with a small airbag cover with the Dodge logo right here. You do have satin silver accents on the steering wheel spokes as well, makes for a really nice touch. You have extended thumb grips up here as well. Some controls here. So over here on the left hand side we have our cruise control. That's pretty much it. We have cancel, resume, our set buttons for accelerate and deaccelerate, your cruise mode, and your lane keep, or your follow distance. At the end of the turn signal stalk here, you do have your lane keep assist on and off. So it has lane sense, and it has basically on and off. Down here you do have the eDrive mode. I think on the Alfa Romeo this would actually be the start button. And then over here on the right hand side we have our audio controls, so Bluetooth and voice command controls, volume controls. This thumb wheel here could actually control a lot of different things, but it also controls your screen modes. So you have your different menus here, which the map can actually take over almost the entire screen, which is really nice. Performance, and then of course driver systems, all that kind of stuff. And back to your speedometer. And then, of course, taking a look at the left-hand side again, you have this huge aluminum shift paddle here, pulled directly out of the Alfa Romeo parts bin. And then, of course, you have your multi-function control stalks here for your turn indicators, high beams, lane keep assist as stated before, your flash to pass and all that kind of stuff. Over here on the right-hand side, you have your upshift paddle, exact same way, right out of the Alfa Romeo. And it looks almost like it could belong in a Ferrari too, but really cool. And of course your wiper washer controls for the front and rear. Now at the end of this stalk you'll see it says menu view, and there's a button there. Take a look at the instrument cluster here. It'll actually change your menus. So we have our quiet view here, just nothing. And then of course we have our full instrument cluster here with the speedometer and a tachometer. And we have a revised view with a little bit more sporty look to it. Alrighty, Let's pan over the top of the dash, show more details. Nice padded dashboard topper here, soft touch. Dual hooded binnacle here, but no heads-up display. Center point speaker there, and of course you have your A-pillar mounted tweeters. And then we have our driver information touchscreen here. So this controls everything from infotainment to vehicle settings and status, everything else in between. We do have our media controls here, AM, FM, Sirius, XM satellite radio, comfort systems here, heated and ventilated seats, climate controls, panel distribution, fan speed, all that kind of stuff. Your automatic recirculation, automatic mode, you can sync driver and passenger. We've also got our navigation, which has a really nice navigation map view here. Phone controls here for your Bluetooth phone controls. And of course it also supports Apple CarPlay, Google Android Auto. Going into the vehicle, we do have a bunch of different menus here. Drive Mode Explorer kind of shows you what all of your different settings are preset. And then you have an overview of where we're at, service within time frame and days. Tires are okay. E-hybrid, so it shows your power flow here. It can show your driving history, schedules, and all that kind of stuff there. Charge setting, e-save, all that kind of stuff. Performance will show basically like you have your oil temperature, transmission temperature, battery for the 12-volt battery, and then of course you have technical gauges which show your turbo PSI and your torque. Controls here, just turn the screen off, rear view camera, and your settings are all of your different vehicle settings. Hitting this little checkerboard here shows your favorites, so you have performance pages, Alexa, device manager, car, all that kind of stuff. Going to all just shows basically all of your different settings here. Of course, placing the vehicle in reverse activates the reverse sensor looking here, so it shows your proximity here. And of course, your rear view camera. It does not have a 360-degree view camera, but it does have active guidance lines. All right, moving down, we have a long strip of buttons here, just below the air vents here. This is your driver, basically your temperature setting here, I'm sorry. Automatic mode, front and rear defrosters, turn the climate system on or off, fan speed up and down. And then of course panel distribution here, AC, recirculate, automatic and manual, and of course the passenger temperature control. Engine start stop button here, sport mode button here, 12-volt power point here, USB type A and type C, wireless charge pad here. Really nice little shift lever, has a good feel to it. Leather wrapped on the boot, aluminum details. Audio control volume knob, it's a knurled finish, looks really good, feels really good on the thumb. You can also turn on and off the speakers. Parking brake, traction control off, parking sensors off, and a blank switch. Down here, we in this aluminum looking area, or titanium, it's all plastic really. You have deep cup holders, a padded armrest with red stitching, opens up to reveal additional storage inside. Alright, so my first thoughts of the Hornet inside is actually it's a really well thought out vehicle. The cabin is actually very comfortable. It is very quiet. It is a compact vehicle, but inside actually feels a little bit larger than what it really is, which is a really nice touch. Overhead, we do have an automatic dimming rearview mirror. Over here on the driver's side sun visor, we have a 3-channel HomeLink universal garage door opener. And on the overhead console, we do have controls for overhead illumination. They're all LED lights. We also have our dome overrides here, SOS, and our anti-theft tow room lighting here. And of course, we have our sunroof controls here. We have our shade and our glass. Sun visors are just a vinyl sun visor, nothing really special. They do have illuminated vanity mirrors, as you can see here. And of course, the sun visors swing out and they slide out on extension rails. And they do have good coverage. Dampened overhead assist handles up in the ceiling, and it is black in here, so it's very dark. And as stated before, high adjustable seat belts. All right, now let's take a look at the rear seat. Opening the door reveals a nice wide opening door. As stated before, the rear door does have that weird cutout here, and it is almost in line with your head, so you'll want to watch out because that can get you pretty good. But taking a look at the rear seats, as you can see here, very nice and roomy. They do seat 3 across. A 60/40 split folding seat with high adjustable head restraints on all the passenger seating areas. Quick look at the door panel reveals it is molded in the exact same form as the front doors, with the exception that these back here are actually hard plastic all the way down, except for the most common touch point areas. That same neoprene. It is padded on the door and the armrest, red stitching. You do still have that same unique texture here. Door speakers up here and down here. You do have the satin silver door pulls, power window switch there, and of course your bottle holder. Now, taking a look at the rear seats, as stated before, 3 across seating. They are not heated or ventilated back here, but they do still have the same perforations in the back. They're a little bit more flat than the front seat. And you do have the head restraints back here, but they do not have the Dodge logos back here. You do also have a fold-down center armrest here, nice and padded. Does reveal some cup holders. And back here you do have a rear seat pass-through, and it folds in the other way, but you can grab it pretty easily. Now, rear seat passengers do have overhead reading lights, but you'll note the absence of assist handles back here. Both seat backs do have integrated mat pockets. You also have positional air vents here, and you can open and close the vents. USB Type A and Type C. No more storage though. All right, now if you want to fold the seats, that's very easy to do. Just underneath the seat belt, you'll see the latch here. Just pull it towards you, and the seat effortlessly folds flat. Goes straight into the cargo area there, as you can see. There are 4 ways to open the lift gate. First way, just by pressing the button here on just below the fuel release. That'll open your lift gate there on the driver's side instrument panel. The other way you could do it is just by the rear view camera here. There's actually a membrane switch underneath here. You might be able to see it, it's right here. That will actually open it as well. You can also use the key fob to, by double pressing the hatch release, you can actually open it that way. Or just by approaching the vehicle, you can kick it underneath the bumper and the hatch will automatically open up. All right, and what we find here is actually a very nice load flat floor. Pretty decently sized for a vehicle of this size. It is illuminated on both sides, which is a really nice touch back here, especially in such a small spot. You've also got some tie-down hooks here. You got some tie-down hooks down there. Your top tether and anchors for child seats. You also have a 12-volt power point back here. Really nice feature here is when you lift up your spare tire cover, you'll see these little clips here. They actually hold that in place. And what you find in here is no spare tire actually, but you have this big molded foam insert, but you do have a nice little deep well storage here. This is the front plate bracket. This is your tire filler kit, and this you never want to lose is your fuel filler for the capless fuel fill. And of course you have a screwdriver as well. Underneath here is all of the electric powertrain components, so you don't want to open this up because this is very high voltage. And to lower this, just lower it and let's go. And of course you have more tie-down hooks here as well. Now this is also removable, the privacy cover. And to close the hatch, just press that button there. All right, and there you go. That is the in-depth walk-around review of the brand new 2024 Dodge Hornet. We hope you found the review informative, and if you did, please comment down below. Also, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/neighborhoodcarreviews and our Instagram channel at BrenzoJ1. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.